my dad ruined me in that regard. Stu Ray, I love you to death. I love you to death. But my dad ruined that for me because as an adolescent, I remember him and whatever my idea of him scolding me was, I remember him telling me just to never cry in front of another man. If you're going to cry, you're only going to cry in front of your father. And I can respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense.
But just having that, though, just the whole idea of not crying, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, here we are, me and Pint, 6 years. I think she seen me cry twice. And one was a definite accident.
Over the course of this last year, my wife has probably seen me cry more than she's cried her entire life.
Wow. Man. Hey, but that's what happens, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
I'll cry, but it really depends on what it is. If it's a inner emotional thing that I'm having, okay, I'll cry. I'll cry in front of anybody. I don't care who it is.
Right.
But if it's somebody that's trying to break down my weakness in the inside, I'm not going to cry in front of that person because I don't want to show them my weakness.
Yes.
So if it's like a battle of some sorts,
right.
I'm not going to cry in front of them.
I'll tell you this. If it's somebody trying to do that to me and I start crying, they better clear
It's a problem. It's a problem. Exactly.
They better get clean on up out the way.
That's where
hey, bullshit ain't about nothing. Hey, if you try to do that to me and I start tearing up, you better clear the room.
You know what? I'm finding, I'm legit finding, bro, that my elation for other people's success makes me emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Elaborate on that.
So yesterday, I swear, bro, I'm not pulling you. I can't do this to save my life, and I'm not even gonna put Anwar in this. But I was talking about the detail on the cool gray jumpsuit. I don't know if that's what you're calling it, but the anti-cool logo on the sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that. Before I saw that, it went from me wearing the cool gray 4s to the cool gray 9s with the white insole because of that. And it just, that's fashion to me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm figuring out what's going to go with what, it's little details like that white that pull it out. Yeah. Because the white and the cool, that's supposed to be there in my mind. You did that on purpose. But when you put that insignia there, I'm just like, oh, that's like I'm checking my watch, baby. And it's like right there, and it stands out to me, bro. And I'm talking to, and I
that man right there, bro.
Yeah.
I can't take all this credit.
Oh, I mean,
that young brother right there, he put a battery in my back, kid.
I think he be thinking I'm pulling on him. And it's like, bro, you have no idea how honest I'm being right now. Hiding from one's true emotion, man, for somebody doing something for you, that's a weakness to me.
Yeah, word,
you know what I'm saying? I'm overly grateful. At first I was a little bit detached, shameful in here when he was just talking through stuff, and then it's like, DA, just do what he asking you to do. You know what I'm saying? And you'll win. And it's just like, I'm finding so much, and I just randomly text him like, so I'm grateful, right? I really appreciate you.
The foot in the door.
I'm trying to think what show is that. When Kevin Hart was talking about how when he talked to his kids, his voice level changed. When I walked in here earlier, I kept telling myself, I got to calm down. I'm too loud. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at me. But I'm so excited about this, man, because we've been playing around with this thing for so long, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's been volleyed back and forth, and just so much that I've learned. And then the outpour of people that are showing us love, you know what I'm saying, on the different outlets, man. We love them. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? And we wouldn't be here without Anwar, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude he lit.
Double A is the brother is skilled, man.
He definitely know what he doing.
Brother is skilled, and I ain't even trying to gas him.
I'm
not gassing him. Trust. Hey, that's not what I'm doing. But I'm calling a spade a spade.
You have to. I had to apologize to him yesterday. And we ain't gonna make this a hurrah, 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 Anwar moment.
Nah, because I can shit on him too. Let's do that.
Swear, bro, like, man, dude, you better chill out. But I told him, I was like, man, I was like, no disrespect to Iron Sharp Media. Shout out to Iron Sharp Media and one of its co-owners, Anwar Asante, for everything that he's doing. I said, but bro, because of what you're doing for me, like Iron Sharp won't even be, you know what I'm saying, your end all be all. Like, I'm gonna make sure the world knows what you've done here. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the inception of everything that we're trying to do. Like, man, it's crazy.
If I get to a bag, we all get into a bag. Trust that. Trust that. Y'all my brothers. And I don't like, we may have our like silent riffs or whatever, but y'all my brothers. I mean,
love.
Like with like
it's
that.
all love.
If I get to a bag, we up.
It's up.
Out of all the ideas we brought in here and put on the table, Anwar, to me, he took it, he made it believable at the end of the meeting. So we came in with the ideas, and then once he took the structure, because we go left and he reel it in, and then
reel it back.
We painted the picture, but he brought it into focus.
Definitely.
He made
you know what? That's the same thing he did with me. I was showing him what he was showing me, and then I was also showing him things that I liked and things that I saw in the industry that I would like to be able to achieve, and this and that and the third. And I was even telling him, I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do none of this. Hey, bro made that shit like
That's just
literally
move,
like.
Man.
Like reading a Betty Crocker recipe and making some. Hey,
that's just how he moves.
Hey,
man.
bro.
He different.
One more compliment. It's gonna get messy in here.
Super.
His head gonna explode.
It's a love fest going on.
Curls everywhere.
Hey man, one of these days we gonna have to get this dude in front of the camera, man, so y'all can see him. He a mess. Hey, so just real quick, man. Aside from the love fest, man, if we can, I wouldn't feel right, man, if we didn't take a moment, to recognize his greatness. We lost a very influential young individual, and when I say young, I only mean young in the sense of his life, his second life outside of career had just started, man. And who's to say what this young brother could have did? Sunday, January 27th, we lost one of the greatest basketball players to ever step foot on the court, and Kobe Bryant. So if we could just take a moment, and then we'll get to our love of Kobe and our hate. But let's just take a moment and recognize his brother's life. Yeah, that's peace. So I'll kick it off because I just, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is for me. I don't know what Kobe meant to everybody else, but me being born and raised here in Illinois and then ultimately becoming a Cali kid, that was like the first California experience I got moving out there in 91. Right after the Bulls lose game 1 to the Lakers. And then the Bulls subsequently go on and sweep them in the next 4 games.
No, we do.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we do.
And just being out there, man, being a Bulls fan. No, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Being a Bulls fan, man, being a part of all of that. Never really being a Laker fan. So never really having a qualm with Kobe, you know what I'm saying, because he never had to play the Bulls, in the time that it mattered. But coming to just like his game, you know what I'm saying, regardless, what those may say about him, whether he was emulating or, just playing ball, how he knew how to play ball, we all know there will never be another MJ, but Kobe, if the conversation was had, he got my vote for the next greatest. That said, off the court, man, this dude is just, he's amazing, man. You see all the things that he got his hands in. He retired and just his second career was just taking off. Young brother had just got an Oscar last year. Crazy for his directorial debut. And you could just imagine what it would have been, given
Magic
the time.
Johnson-esque.
Man, I'm talking about just flooding the game with immense talent. But what you got, Smoke?
Kobe. Keep it 100. I didn't like Kobe.
I mean, it is what it is.
Hold on, let me clear that up first because I know somebody already frowned up. But when Kobe, if you are a true Mike fan, you could not be a Kobe fan at the time he was playing.
Okay.
Because Kobe, at the end of his career, was the best Michael Jordan imitation from every standpoint.
Okay.
And so I couldn't find it to like Kobe.
Okay.
Once Kobe retired, I think I probably was his second biggest fan because the game was over. The man was ice cold. But Kobe just, now, on the court, you can say he was top 3 of all time.
Right.
Off the court, he's top 3 of all time.
Right.
LeBron is definitely up there with him. But let me roll back. Kobe was not the only person that passed away.
LeBron is
in
not
this,
number 3. LeBron is definitely not.
Kobe was not the only person that passed away.
No, he was
in
not.
His helicopter. So shout out to his family and to all the other families that were involved as well.
Definitely send a shout out to the other 7 that were last name not Bryant.
Yeah.
But just a little bit to what you said. The one reason why I say I really didn't like, because after Mike, everybody just jumped on the Laker bandwagon. Because, it was only 2 years away, 2 years, maybe 3, you know what I'm saying, that the Lakers went on their whole run. And, let's be honest, the triangle offense was a carbon copy of what the Bulls did. You just had a dominating center who could just, take the pass and go either way. He could either score it or he can give it up. Bill Winnington or Luke Longley couldn't score at Shaq's rate. But it was a carbon copy, man. So I think me living in California and everybody just, the Lakers are so much better than the Bulls and blah, 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 all that. Like, man, if Mike didn't retire, man, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
All right, hold up for a second. Let me dead all this. First and foremost, I wasn't a Chicago fan or a Laker fan.
Okay.
I was a New York Knicks fan.
Sheesh.
The New York
I was
Knicks.
a New York Knicks fan, and I go down every year in blazing glory. But
Mike did that to you.
Yeah, he ruined every chance I had at being able to celebrate with my Knicks. But I was still a Jordan fan. John Starks made me love Michael Jordan because John Starks was a very fierce defender, and Jordan just was washing John Starks.
Body that boy.
Bad.
Body that boy.
Hey.
Bad.
But nonetheless, I say all that to say, I was a Jordan fan. Still am a Jordan fan.
Without question.
Even in being a Jordan fan, I am a Kobe fan. I wasn't in high school. I didn't like Kobe because of the same thing that Smokey was saying.
Right.
And I felt like it was a ripoff. But once I actually went to the military and got to experience the Lakers from the California standpoint, because I was in San Diego, and I was always back and forth between San Diego and LA. Being able to experience it, like being in the middle of that and like seeing them, like basically just like we are about Chicago, or can be about Chicago, or maybe even to the 10th power, because there's more of them than us.
Twice as many.
Yeah, people. But after doing that, I'm like, okay, I like this guy. I won't go as far as to say that he was perfect off of the court based off of what most people's standard of perfect is,
right.
But I believe he was every bit of a real man. And I mean real in the sense of he made his mistakes and he fixed it and he rebounded and he moved in the he guided a lot of brothers
right.
on how to get their shit together.
Real spill.
Once you drop the ball.
Real spill.
You know what I'm saying? Me included.
Real spill.
You know what I'm saying?
Real spill.
And that's just me being honest.
But I mean, that's that.
And that just made him even more lovable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's just one of the things, bro. I mean, you got these young guys coming into the league, And, obviously, they weren't these kids born in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? They grew up watching Kobe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for them to, oh, man, I want to be like Kobe. Kobe is the greatest. And then, like, when they meet Kobe, mm-hmm. and then the conversations that they'll speak of, like, outside of basketball, like, that's greatness to me. That's greatness to me. As far as him, the off-the-court stuff, me personally, man, at the end of the day, these dudes are human. Mm-hmm. So off-the-court stuff, that's your personal life. Tidbit about me, reality TV, I'm not a fan of it. You know what I'm saying? Just not a fan of it. I can reference it, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this day and age. You see it everywhere you go. The wife watches reality TV. Yeah. Break all the TVs in the house. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. But I don't care for their personal lives. If you're an entertainer and I'm being entertained by what you're doing, then I'm only focused on that. So, I ain't perfect. I am not perfect. I will never be perfect. So, whatever he did off the court,
I'm perfect. I don't care what you saying.
Yeah,
I'm perfect. I'm perfect for
the dimensions
exactly
of your head
for
on that
who
jacket.
I'm supposed to be.
I'm leaving room for error. I am not perfect.
That's me being honest. I consider myself perfect because I love exactly who I am. I love everything about me, my mistakes and my wins.
Okay,
I love all that. I don't care what everybody else views me as. In my eyes, I'm perfect.
Okay, that makes sense. Hey,
and I'm only getting better.
And that, to
me, perfect from its root sense only means whole. Yeah, it doesn't mean to be without flaw.
Let's go education.
So if you look at it in that sense, okay, I'm perfect.
Right. Yeah.
But now, if my wife expected me not to make no mistakes, I'm not perfect.
Right.
Because I'm going to make mistakes.
It happens. It happens, mistakes, man. That's what.
I can't wait
life?
till we get into these episodes, so we can start really digging all into that. I ain't gonna do that right now.
Right.
First episode. Right. When we get there, we going there.
But what is life without a mistake? Like, who do you know? I don't know anybody. And I don't even want to like jump ship real quick. But this is one of the conversations that we have in my house daily, because we are just moving along. My wife is into, my fiance, she's into church, been in church her whole life. You know what I'm saying? The entirety of her life. I'm talking about from diapers to heels. Been in church. Me, I'm the polar opposite. You know what I'm saying? I'll ride past the church, wave, you know what I'm saying? But it's just not me. But to hear church folk, and no disregard, you know what I'm saying, to church folk, but you were once an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Still who up. Are you? Right.
Still up.
You know what I'm saying? Who are you to say what's perfect and what's not perfect? But that's just society as a whole. If you are anything different than what people believe to be their truth, then you're wrong.
You know what, though? I will say this. Because I have many friends who are of the Christian community, church folk, as you say.
And I only say church folk because I don't want to say Christians and then folks be jumping all in my DM. Oh, you got a problem with Christians?
I ain't even worried about that. I promise you I ain't worried. I got the clip loaded.
Man, but
either way it go. Either way it go. Nah, I like maybe 3 years ago I would have been right there with you.
Right.
Now, like I'm seeing people grow. Not in a negative, not away from church, but people are being more honest and being more realistic in their judgments or expectations of others. I have quite a few friends who are in the church, and I love them dearly. And I have one little brother of mine, Jeffrey Miller, Jay. That little brother, like, he's another perfect individual. Some people may look at him and be like, oh, he this, he that, whatever. He cussed, whatever. But you can't tell me that brother ain't devoted to that life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He honors where he is and where he isn't, and he makes whatever adjustments he deems to be necessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he a solid brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I look at him, I don't get, he, what's the word? Hypocrite? Yeah, hypocrite. I don't get that. I get, he's a Christian, and he's every sense of what I view Christianity as. Like, but what's that one song? I forgot the one dude. We fall down, we get up, whatever. Like, that's to me, that's what Christianity is, because that's honest.
Right. I mean, that is an honesty. You know, I think it's somewhere in the Bible. You know,
we all fall short of the glory of God.
You know, you go to God, God comes to you as He knows you. So it's like, when I talk to God, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when I'm joking with somebody, man, God know I'll be on my shit. You know what I'm saying? People, oh, you can't. Come on, man. God know you be cussing.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm
Even
saying?
if you don't say it out your mouth. What you want to say is up there.
If we're going off of Him being all omnipotent, you know what I'm saying? He's everywhere in every moment. So stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. It's the judgment.
Your relationship with Christ don't have to look like anybody else's.
Come on, man.
So
come on, Smoke.
It don't have to look like anybody else's. And Christianity is not perfect. Mm-hmm. When they say come to church as you are, that means all your baggage.
No.
Every whatever sin that you have, come to the church.
People be thinking it's talking about how you
dress.
Word.
Come as you are. So when you show up, whatever you show up with, it's yours until God delivers you from it.
Right.
So I mean, when you walk through that church door, there's nobody in that church from the pulpit to the front door that is perfect. Everybody's holding these churches. Everybody's holding
us
to
DMs.
Talk that talk,
Smokey. You know you doing them plays, boy. You about to mess up that.
Where's your church?
I'm going. Hey, Smokey, finna mess up the finances on them plays. Oh, he said we ain't perfect over here at Lord Lutheran Baptist. We ain't going to see that play.
Hey, I'm there. Word. Hey, I'm there.
Man, you better stop, bro. Look, listen, okay? You better stop playing with these people. Hey, look, the comments and thoughts of
you gonna do the disclaimer?
Do not reflect those of the thoughts and comments of the Despite Popular Belief podcast. We love y'all. We love y'all, man. But no, in all seriousness, that's to me personally, you know, the judgment that comes with it. I can care less, man. Regardless if I smoke, drink, whatever. This is, like I said, the one thing I love about my fiance, bro, we have real conversations. Mm-hmm. And she don't, well, I would hope she don't judge me. You know what I'm saying? Pint, I hope you love me, baby. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But we have these conversations about church and, you know, how people are seen. And I won't get too personal into what we got going on right now, but you know, all too often it's like a thing. You know, you have to be a certain way. You have to move a certain way. You have to be a certain way. And I don't see that.
Word.
I don't see that at all.
Word.
You know, I just see, man, you know, if I got a pastor and I'm at this church, you know what I'm saying, and I come in this church and I'm looking for deliverance, or I'm looking for fellowship, or I'm looking for, you know, just getting a relationship. It's your job to bring me to Him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring me to Him and say, well, you can come on, but you got to wash your hands. No.
But you know what, though? I think that's a misconception, too.
Okay.
And I think maybe it's not a misconception. Maybe that is part of what I view as problematic.
Okay.
Is the idea that somebody has to bring you to God. Like, first and foremost, I'm sure everybody knows that my views are not that of the common man.
Here come Court statement for his DMs.
Yo, word. Hey, I'm with it though, because I'm punching.
He welcomes it.
I'm punching. Hey, but this is, I mean, like that, like this. For me, I just am not of the belief that there has to be someone in between. There's a go-between for you and God. Like, I'm not of that belief.
There's not a God buffer.
Yeah, whatever. I say the source. I don't even use the word God.
Right.
And I'm comfortable with using the word God, especially when that's what people tend to readily identify.
Right.
Mm-hmm. When I'm trying to make reference to whatever that term is. But I don't believe that there needs to be some intercessor or some go-between for you to get to the source.
Right.
I know for me, I feel like right now, I know it may be a large number of people that's gonna be like, nah, you bugging, but I feel closer to God right now than I ever have felt in my life.
I swear, I second that. I swear, I second that.
But why do you say that?
I say that because my life feels divine. My life feels purposeful. My life feels like it has intent, and I feel like I am serving my purpose here on this earth right now.
I second that. And I mean, I can.
All of my years I spent in the church, I don't think I was doing that.
Okay.
I was mimicking what I saw other people do.
Come on, man. Come on,
And
man.
that's just me being honest.
Come on, man.
That's just me being honest.
That's-
I don't know what
that's
everybody else
honesty.
was doing, but I'm going to be honest about what I was doing.
That's honesty, though.
So what you're doing right now, you believe? I mean, and I don't know. It's a straight up question. It's kingdom work.
Yes.
It's work for the kingdom. Okay.
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean-
I do believe that. And I'll explain why I do believe that.
Okay.
Because I know that the work that I'm doing right now, not any one thing, everything that I'm doing right now, there are people watching me who are going to be inspired to live a purposeful and intentional life.
And
Yes.
that's where it gets, like, that's the bottom line.
Word.
That's the bottom line. Like, that's the relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here robbing, stealing, and
I love
killing,
that word.
You know,
I love that word.
knocking off banks. I'm not doing wrong by anybody.
Word.
I'm telling you.
I'm not hurting anybody.
Nobody. So much of what my everyday is now correlates to everything else that's going on in my life. So say we'll be having a conversation, and then I'll go to work or whatever the case, be in a grocery store and start a conversation with somebody else, and they'll say something that's divinative to the conversation I was having with you. And I'm like, oh man, my bad. I'm like, man, I'm scratching my head like, wait, but there's no way that this person could have known what we was talking about. So that just lets me know that, I mean, the only way I can explain it is the way that I was raised. I'm walking in my glory.
Word.
You know what I'm
Word.
saying? Like, it just,
said it a
it
lot.
makes sense because, I mean, let's go back 3 months ago. I didn't know Anwar. And I mean, this is an idea, man, you've been kicking around since the beginning of Dust. You know what I'm saying? And I come walking in here, and now all of a sudden, like, here we are. The mics are on. The lights are on. You know what I'm saying? We got our images behind us. Shout out to Rocio for that. You know what I'm saying? She did a great job on the imagery behind us. But, I mean, that's just a part of it. You know, we're all doing, I think you said it in the beginning, like we were supposed to be here at this time.
Word.
Like,
This was
it
no accident.
made sense for us to all come together at this time. You know what I'm saying? And for y'all who don't know, like, we're not new to each other. You know, but I mean, we're not everyday best friends either. But when we come across each other, it's just love.
It's always
Genuine.
love. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's
definitely,
like,
definitely.
it's crazy. It's just like, I can't even explain it. Like, you just see each other and it's just a boom. The conversation go. The last conversation we already had, I walked away thinking like, I don't think I was supposed to be talking to him for that long. But it happens. Let's go back. Well, what, 2-3 years ago, I'm coming out of AutoZone, you going in, and it's cold outside, and then you get in the car and you like, it's cold outside. Why was we just standing there talking that long?
Yeah.
Bro, that's organic. To me, that's something bigger than
That's of God.
that's of God.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I actually saw something on Facebook this morning. The question the girl posed was, you know, why don't you, per se, the person whoever was reading it, believe in God? And my first interaction was, it's not that I don't believe, it's the religious part about it that
Word.
kind of catches me
Word.
off guard. You know what I'm saying? Because who's to say God and Buddha and Anwar and, you know, Jehovah, who's to say which one of them is telling the lie?
Did you just make our brother Aditi?
The golden
Yo,
locks.
he praising the God over here right now.
Akbar. Was it Akbar? I meant to say Akbar, not Akbar.
You said
You know what I'm
Anwar.
saying? It's crazy. But I mean, that's just one of those things where, I mean, because we was all raised, you know, with God. God was
right.
the end all be all. God was fear. God was success. God was, you know what I'm saying? So I only know how to reference God. You know what I'm saying? So when I read something like that, like, why don't you per se believe in God? I'm just like, well, I do, but just not the way that you do.
Yeah,
Like,
we just have different concepts.
is it a crime because I don't see it the same way you see it? I wish I could remember the name.
Okay.
I look for it. Go ahead.
I
Smoke.
believe in God, 100%. But what bothers me in our community is that let's just say there's 20 blocks in that community.
Okay.
There's churches on 15 of those blocks.
Word. Facts.
And
the community. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the communities are still in bad shape.
Exactly. But I mean, even before the community's in bad shape, I'm concerned about that. There's 15 churches in one hood, but one God.
Why do you need?
Why is there so much division within the church?
Disclaimer.
I don't know.
The thoughts and comments of Arthur Cobb.
But there, I mean, honestly, I think that like there's not just division in Christian. I mean, that's all over though. I mean, look at our community. We find every way to split ourselves and divide ourselves from one another, whether it be class, whether it be religion, no matter, like there's division everywhere.
But we're weakening the machine by keep splitting it. How strong would the church be if the church was one, as opposed to 10? That 9 times out of 10, and forgive me, that's all out there listening.
Shameless plug.
If it's 10 pastors in 10 churches,
shameless plug is coming. I feel it.
9 times out of 10 they don't get along.
That's why we must develop the break the barrel mentality.
Yeah, that was that shameless plug.
That was that shameless plug.
Word.
Break the barrel mentality. Clothing coming by DA.
Soon.
Very soon. We're not directly competing, and then we can just kind of help each other, you know what I'm saying, from afar and push business off one way or the other.
I rock with that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
get
the only
Joliet,
thing
I'll take Bolingbrook.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like with the podcast situation, like, man, you know, we got one of the greatest producers ever, you know what I'm saying? So hey, bro, listen, y'all need help with that? I'm not gonna say I'm gonna send him personally.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we can't.
We got a solution to that. You know
that's
what I'm
our
saying?
firearm right there.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. So real quick, let's switch gears, man. Let's get off into the social media aspect of it.
Let's do that.
Something I saw earlier in the week, man. It was a meme. It threw me for a loop. I just kind of want to know what y'all think, because I know we're not all looking at the exact same stuff. There was a meme that popped up. A young lady, I reached out to her to ask her, can I use the meme? She didn't respond, so I won't say her name per se. But the meme goes, the more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive become.
Hold on. Say that one more time. Read it.
The more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive black men become, men in general. I really don't know where we're at with the censorship.
I gotta see this. I gotta see it.
Negroes.
I am not your Negro. Okay. Shout out to the guy on the page.
James Baldwin. James Baldwin. I didn't even know where you going with that.
Shout out to James Baldwin.
James Baldwin.
It's okay. That will not look that way next time. But yeah, so what did y'all take on that? The more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive Negroes become. What you think, Smoke?
Okay, I'm gonna start in reverse. Ooh. Negroes. Why did they go straight to Negroes?
I mean, because it's communal.
Okay,
you know,
so it's because it's personal.
It's
that's a personal meme.
Okay,
she feeling some way about somebody specifically.
Or a whole bunch of somebody.
Yeah,
not to say
probably.
Not to say she's a loose mongerer. We're not gonna say that.
So she targeting somebody with that meme. Okay.
Shots fired.
Okay. Yeah.
I wish we had Double A. Can we get the?
Yo, yeah, we need the Joe Budden effects. Yeah. Hey, what up?
That's deep, man.
To the meme though, if me paying bills is what makes me attractive, we shouldn't be together anyway.
I'll be ugly.
Well, I don't think that's what she's saying. I'm thinking she's saying like kind of it's leaning toward the independent thing, because there was a cat on here who responded. Here, let me pull this up. He responded, well, what happened to the independent-ish everybody been saying basically? You saying that paying bills and getting your heart broke, is that the same thing? Or are you just a prostitute? Like right on her stat. And I'm like, ooh. I did the little Michael Jackson meme with the popcorn.
Looking at it that way, the independent part, women are independent with what they want to be independent with.
Come on,
first and foremost.
Come on,
but
let the church say
to the meme fact. As I'm not paying anybody's bills first and foremost if she's not my wife.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So let's fast forward. We married now. As a man, I feel like we should carry the load that we can carry without assistance, and then when assistance is needed, we should be able to call on our helpmate to get that assistance.
That's solid. That's solid.
I can go.
I can't hate on that at all.
I mean, I have no reason to.
But that's not the way they're looking at it on social media. They feel like they shouldn't have to do anything. If both of y'all making $800 a week, you can't expect that man to pay
My
the
seven
mortgage.
gotta go, and all you get to keep all you.
Exactly. you got to do what works for your household, but the man got to put in the effort to be the man.
Now, I'll say this. Because on my recent journey, my financial situation in my household got completely flipped upside down. I walked away from a job, as y'all know, a job making a lot of money. I walked off. I had fairly decent amount of money when I walked away, but I also had horrible spending habits. So that money ain't last that long. Hey, I'm just being. I walked away from that job, and my spending habits were as if I was still working that job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I blew through that money I had. I did take care of my household.
Okay.
While I had it.
Okay.
Eventually, I hit a point where we at the bottom of the bucket.
Something's got to change. What you say, babe? You getting that special value? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and grab that.
Yeah, but like my wife is my best friend. And she had
shout out to Tawana.
Yo, word. Hey, love you, baby.
You know what? Stop. Hold on.
No.
Megan, I love you, baby. I love you.
Oh, you
Megan Coble Flowers.
You say I ain't gonna let him show me up.
Everybody. And I ain't get, baby, I'm sorry.
So,
Okay.
excuse me, Smokey. I heard Courtney and DA just let the world know that, and my name didn't come out.
Hold on. It was gonna come out because I said I have to find a slot to get in and say this. But when he said it, I said, "Damn, I'm last."
No, but not for nothing. No. I found myself in a situation where I had to go and get a job because first and foremost, the door was basically closed on me for the refinery route for going back in there.
Right.
And I believe I subconsciously did it to myself. Because I promised myself when I walked off that I wasn't coming back.
Okay.
With that being said, I found myself in a situation to where it's like, okay, I'm either gonna have to pack up and move to another state to go and get that type of bread, or I'm just gonna have to work my way back up to the top again, like
Definitely.
I did before.
Definitely.
I chose that route.
Okay.
To work my way back up to the top for a number of reasons. One of many being that I love my city.
Okay.
I love Joliet.
Shout out to Joliet.
Yes,
we love you.
Yes, all day. So right now, I'm in a situation where my wife makes more money than me.
That's man.
My
we
baby
can touch
getting
on
to
that.
it. My baby getting to it.
on that.
My baby getting to it. She getting to it, bro, and she holding it down. But we holding it down together. It's not. We're not in a situation where it's like, I make this and that's all you bringing in. Right. Like, nah, it's not like that. Everything that comes into the household goes into one pot.
Makes sense.
Because it's servicing one household.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
With that being done, that put me in a situation to where I'm a lot more conscious of what I'm spending.
Okay.
I'm way more responsible and I'm way more accountable for what I can and can't do. My wife hold it down, bro. My wife.
I can feel that.
I don't believe that. I understand what she's saying, and I'm pretty sure that comes from a number of legit places.
Right.
But I'm also not going to validate it, as in to just wide stroke the entire community with
right.
that. Like, I get it. You may have a genuine and legit argument there with whoever you're talking to.
Right.
But that don't rock for everybody.
And it can't. You know what I'm saying? Not to cut you off, I apologize. Yeah. But I mean, the more you look at this thing, you know what I'm saying, and I reiterate, the more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive Negroes become. I mean, if you single, shouldn't you be paying your bills
by yourself? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so why is that? I mean, if it was fodder, you know what I'm saying? If you was just trying to get a rise, okay, cool. And definitely, sweetheart, we are not picking on you. You know what I'm saying? I believe you're going to see this. We have a crazy following already. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, shameless plug. Shout out to y'all. The Despite Popular Belief podcast loves all of you individually. We are not picking on you, but I mean, my thing is, you know, I have to pay my bills in my house.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You have to pay your bills in your house. Like, why does you paying your bills make me look less attractive? But that's okay, because I'm gonna err on caution away from a woman who's, you know what I'm saying, with that type of mentality. To speak to what Smokey was saying, now to speak to what you were saying, this year marks the first year that Bryant and I have lived together. We lived separately for 5 years, you know, and then we've conjoined together. You know, we go get a nice place. You know, I like to think we live nicely. You know what I'm saying? And I was holding it down, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going out of state, working out of state, you know, not to let none of you Negroes know that I be gone. Try to run up in my house. She is certified, and she knows how to squeeze the trigger if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, then things kind of tapered off, slowed down. You know what I'm saying? And I had to check some spending. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Pint took a boatload, you know what I'm saying, and looked out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, one way or the other, you know, bills, that's small talk. Yeah. Like, what kind of conversation are you having? My thing is putting stuff like that out in the atmosphere is the reason why a lot of these women are single. Yeah. Not a judgment. You know what I'm saying? Not a judgment. I'm not saying, you know, anybody says this, anybody says that, you're wrong, you're single, you're indifferent otherwise, but you kind of got to be cool with the stuff that you putting out on social media, because you got men looking. You know what I'm saying? You got men look, anytime something surfaces, it's like, oh, a boy, that's a boy doing that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no man gonna look at that way. Well, what do you think we all are?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, whoever would like to argue, please jump in the comments and let's do this. I'm all for it. I know responsibility doesn't make you a man. I know just because you stand on your word, that doesn't make you a man. My biggest take on you know, maturity is that alone, maturity. You know what I'm saying? At what point do you put your childish things away, you know what I'm saying, and act as a man does? You know, how do you handle adversity? You know, when something bad happens, oh, you tell me my shoes look bad, I get mad and start talking about your No, man, look, check this out. You don't like these shoes? I'm glad you don't, because I put them on this morning. You know what I'm saying? Once again, what I eat will not cause you to use tissue.
Man,
you know
look, what he eat won't make you shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the basis. It's the basis of it, man. So, you know, once again, going to Facebook, man, like looking at how these women be posting about they sexual activity and being horny, and then like some dude to jump in your DM and you now all Negroes is thirsty. Like, but you just put a whole stat up about how you done did the cucumber challenge. You know what I'm saying?
But you know
and
what,
didn't
though?
expect me to respond.
I believe with that sometimes a lot. I mean, there's a number of different reasons that could be happening, but I believe that specifically happens for one of two reasons. Either one, Shorty was looking for somebody to Jones on so she can get it off and be like, oh, look, I just shit on buddy. Or two, she was sending the bat signal out and Batman didn't come. Robin showed up.
She had to take it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Nice. And she angry because Robin showed up and not Batman.
Or one, she lacking attention. And a lot of you girls just be showing who they truly are.
Yeah, word.
But see, what a lot of women don't understand, what a man likes, he does not necessarily love.
That's true.
Explain that for me.
That's true.
You, as men, and not all men do, we'll go to a strip club. We'll throw dollars at the girl. We'll let her dance all over us, so forth and so on.
Wait.
But if that woman approached us, well, I know for me, if she approached me outside of work and I found out she was a stripper, probably girlfriend status, or not even girlfriend status, something to mess around with if I wasn't married, of course. I could not take her serious.
Why is that?
I could not. A girl that's on Facebook talking about,
Oh,
I
okay,
want to
okay, I
suck
see what
this
you-
or
right,
do
right,
that
right.
or bent over the picture with the butt stick. Those are the things I can't take serious. I cannot call you my mate and be intimate or personal with you or trust you in life. If
And you're doing all of that on Facebook for everybody to see.
There's
You know what?
nothing for the imagination for the people.
That's okay, and that's perfectly fine for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that shouldn't have to translate to everybody. That shouldn't be the standard for everybody. Because
Exactly.
once again, what you eat don't make me shit.
Exactly.
makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So that's perfectly fine for you. But I may be the guy who's like, nah, shorty.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
I'm
so
with
then,
that.
So then with that, I would like to kind of just attach this to that. What do you put to that? Are they looking for attention? Are they just trying to get something off their chest?
I don't know.
Because when something like that goes up, like I'm a man.
This
is something.
it's subjective and it's a moving target. Not everybody's the
Every case
same.
is
Some
different.
people doing it for different. But everybody's doing it for different reasons.
Of course. When you get to the people you may know section on Facebook or the suggestion section on Instagram, when you got a picture and your booty is all toward the camera, like, come on, man.
Everybody's
that, bro?
Everybody's doing it for the same thing, but everybody's doing it for attention.
Right.
Any post that goes up on Facebook, Instagram,
You know what?
Twitter,
I think
is for attention.
I think it goes deeper than attention, and it's for fulfillment of some sort.
Well, that's
Okay.
a whole nother conversation that we
I
can
think it's
dig
for
deep
like
into.
it goes deeper than just it because
yeah, it's a complex.
you can use the word attention
For
but it's-
fulfillment.
They're trying to get some type of fulfillment. They're trying to feel
It's
something.
a complex. Come
Something.
on, man. We ain't gonna
I
dig in that bag.
can't even say that
We ain't gonna
because
dig in that bag.
that's not for everybody. Not everybody is a complex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that's a subject. That's a case by case thing.
Okay.
Like we could sit here and blanket everybody with, oh yeah, that's why y'all doing that.
Right.
But that's the same thing that was done to us in the 50s and 60s. We didn't like it.
Right.
Well, the word,
He in his bag, people.
Hey, I'm just keeping
Hey,
it real.
Everybody,
You're right.
welcome Courtney Logan to the
Oh
table.
yeah, I'm here.
the word attention doesn't have to be a negative thing. When somebody
No, I'm not saying it's negative. I'm not saying it's negative.
Nobody's saying it's negative,
No.
but I mean, it's just, don't call me thirsty. Don't throw a blanket statement over all Negroes. Don't, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Don't make it out to be that we're all just jumping in your DM. Girl, if I posted all the DMs I be getting, well, if you stop posting cleavage shots.
Right, you created most of them.
just maybe,
That's a
you'll
vicious
get a
cycle
different.
though, bro. We created that.
Yeah.
We did that. We did that. That
As-
ain't
as
something.
men.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
So-
no, not as men. As a collective.
Okay.
As a
We
culture,
set that up.
as America,
As a people. People do that. It ain't just black people that do that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about men. I
mean we people.
Oh, okay.
We
oh,
did
well,
that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because everybody does it. They just do it. Like each demographic does it. They just do it in a different way.
In a different way.
Yeah, that's I don't think that we all do it, but
Right.
we set up that dynamic.
Do you think
Because of the society being set up the way that it's set up, teaching women that they got to do this to get this.
Okay.
Teaching men that they got to do this to get this.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
I
Like
see where
we
you're
set
going.
that up.
I see where you're going. I thought you meant like from a man's standpoint, like the attention that we
Well,
give
you know,
or lack thereof.
I'm gonna talk big picture all the time.
Oh, yeah, no,
I'm gonna
that's-
talk big
that's your
picture
bag.
all the time.
and that's what I'm
bad.
thinking. The big,
Yeah, I'm gonna
big
talk
your
big
bag.
picture all the
That's your
time.
bag.
the visual that we set up, that we sent out there, or that the social media, or whether any media for that fact.
Right.
For example, the tip drill video.
Boy, don't remind me.
What did
got a
what
credit card
what did
waiting.
that do for the women? Looking at that visual, the women see that. Oh,
Shout
this
out
got
to Nelly
this
for
got
the
the
tip
All you
drill
got to
video.
do is look at TV. That's what it did.
Man, he just blamed Nelly for that.
No, I'm not blaming Nelly because there was a lot of people doing that before.
I'm talking about Smokey,
that was
man.
just
You had 2 Live Crew. You had cut it out.
Now Nelly ain't gonna subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Nah,
man.
Nelly can come get this work. Hey, he can come get this work.
Shout out to the Ticks, Murphy Lee. What's up, man?
By the way, he gonna be in Romeoville at the Rib Fest here coming out.
Yeah.
This year?
I heard what you said about Joliet too, Nelly.
Nah, he ain't even say
No,
that.
I know.
I was on his heels if he did.
Well, he was only talking about the front row anyway. See?
I didn't hear nothing about it. Nelly, keep Will Connie out your comments. This is Arthur Cobble speaking, by the way.
Oh, man.
Hey, that dude be in the weight room. I don't want no
No problems. No problems.
I don't want no smoke, man. It's insane though, like legit, man. A lot of what, you know what I'm saying, we deal with, a lot of what we see. This social media stuff is crazy. And I would just hope that anything we said today, it don't rub nobody the wrong way, because we just being real.
You might as well get off that one.
But no, but that's what we want. So we want you all to understand that where we coming from is a place of inflection. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, something that we see, we just try to project it out. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel a certain type of way, please tell me I'm wrong. Don't jump in my DM with a picture with your booty turned around.
I don't believe anybody can tell you you're wrong.
Oh no, because
that's
it's my
how
opinion.
you see. That's how you see. That's how you see the world.
Yeah, it's my opinion.
Who is someone to tell you that you're wrong for seeing the world how you see it?
I mean, you know how people is, Court. Come on,
like
man.
I mean that's just me. Like I see the world probably wild, like crazy compared to how most people view the world.
Right.
And I'd be damned if I'm gonna let somebody tell me I'm wrong for seeing the world how I see it.
I'm 100 with that. I ain't gonna lie. Court put me on in that.
Yeah.
He broke it down to me one day. He said, what he said? My reality. Mm-hmm. My reality is not your reality. How you see things and how you digest it.
That is this popular belief.
Yeah.
Word.
How we can look at the same things, the same identical thing, and see 2 different things.
Word.
It's all about how your brain processes.
Or 20 different things.
20, yeah, exactly.
Do I gotta recite this for the people? What is y'all talking about, man? We are all about speaking our perception, because your reality is not mine.
Word.
Together we blend opinions and mix facts to paint the perfect picture.
Yes, sir.
Man, like that's just the way of life. Speaking of opinions, I had posted I had threw some content up last week, and it was an image of Future and Lori Harvey, and I was like, well, do men truly know when they have found a good thing, when they have a good thing? And it kind of turned into a back and forth, and I was talking to an individual, and they were like, well, why didn't you jump in to say anything? Well, because that's not my opinion too. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what the people think, you know. And we had a young lady jump on, and she just was like, nope. And I'm like, well, do you care to go into that a little bit? You know, and she just went from a personal experience. And that's something that I kind of want people, not so much as to get away from, because obviously your opinion is your opinion. But I mean, don't blanket statement everything. You know what I'm saying? Because that one dude, he could have just been a butthole. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what he want. You know what I'm saying? And all he wanted was, you know,
hey,
sex.
Can
this
I
and
say
sex
something?
That. Go ahead.
I am not liking this cleaned up version of DA.
Hey man, listen. I don't know where we are with the money yet.
Say, feel the bag first.
Yeah, you know.
Feel the bag.
I definitely don't know where we are with the money yet. And on top of that, Pint was like, "Don't be too cute." So, you know, baby, this is the censored version of me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it was crazy, man, because she was, you know, she laid into a conversation about all the dude wanted was sex.
What was the post?
The Future and Lori Harvey picture with Future kissing her on the cheek, and it was do men truly know when they have a good thing? And I think men do, because you see the memes. You see the memes, like a dude is going, you know, he's gonna act right for the woman that he wants, or whatever they say. The dude is going to conform. He's gonna call. He's gonna be attentive. He's going to be romantic. He's going to be compassionate, you know, that type of deal.
Can I interject?
Please do.
I'll say this. First and
find
foremost, I think a good thing is subjective because what's good for me may not be good for you.
I think somebody said that. That's crazy.
Secondly, people are going to have to start being, I'm speaking to where she was saying the guy just wanted sex. People are going to have to start being, or not. I mean, it's totally up to you. But your world will be what it is until you decide to start being accountable for it.
Accountable.
Like, okay, you figured out that all he wanted was sex. And how long did you continue before you stopped giving him the sex?
And
after you realized that was he wanted.
She said something like she was messing with the dude for a while. So
yeah, so that
was a little
like,
disheartening.
On your bag.
Yeah, you standing on this man's neck and like you was choosing to deal with that. And I'll speak to that in a minute. But I actually had a comment from somebody I know personally, my boy Dennis. He was like, I think the question is asked in a way where women won't get the answer that they're majorly seeking. He's saying, do we know that we have a good thing? Of course. Does that mean that we will still treat her well enough by her standards to be happy in the relationship? Not at all. I agree with that.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of falls back to the mistake conversation we were having. You know, man, men are men, and I'm not saying men cheat. I'm not saying all men cheat. All I'm saying is black men don't cheat.
I knew exactly where he was
Black
going.
men do not cheat. I'm standing on that. But you know what I'm saying? Just because you think in your mind you're a good woman, and we might, cook, clean, pay bills, wash windows, whatever it may be. I don't want to say wash windows because this is definitely not the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know no woman who washing windows. Pine, I love you, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where just because it's good, that don't mean this man is not going to look up and see something that he likes. This was something I asked Pint actually the other night. We were sitting down having dinner. That's probably where most of our best conversations come from, across the table. Like, why is it that when men get into relationships, like their opinions on women and what happens with women become void? How come we can't now talk about women? Like, why is that? Like, why is that so weird?
What do you mean by not talking about women?
Like, let's just say something like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, having an interaction with a woman and saying, well, you're good or you're not good. You're beautiful, you're not beautiful. You do have a good attitude. Like men become so drawn back, because she's been getting a whole bunch of, hey, did you see what DA posted? Hey,
But you know what? I believe that right there, specifically what you're talking about, that all comes with trust. That all comes with communication.
Oh, yeah, no, without question.
Like, 10 years ago, could I have done that? What I do now, could I have the conversations that I have with my wife now?
Right.
10 years ago? Absolutely not.
Right.
We weren't there. We weren't communicating. We weren't actually being a team. We weren't functioning as a team. Like my wife and I, we are finally at a place where we trust one another to be able to have conversations like that, to be able to comment people or compliment people, to be able to compliment people and the other half, or not other half, but the other party not take it personally because we know it's not coming from, or it's been communicated already that it's not coming from a place of, oh, I want to jump your bones.
Right.
It's coming from a place of, oh, I recognize the beauty or that you being a handsome man in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a thing of, I can acknowledge your beauty, but I don't need it for myself.
How long y'all been married?
We've been married for 15 years. We've been together for 16.
I've been married. We just been married 10 years, and me and my wife just got to the point where, everything that we've talked about within this last year or two has begun to unfold. Finances and all that other type of stuff, because I met her in October. We were married in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I say I met her, God allowed me to be in her presence on 2 or 3 different times when I wasn't ready, and we never said a word to each other. I didn't know her.
You just said that.
But the moment I ran into her, he said, it's time. I didn't know her. She didn't know me. And lo and behold, there we go. That's where we're at today. And over time, there's been many of times that we should have walked away or could have walked away because things got hard, whether it be finances, whether it be children or things of that nature. And he just allowed us to fight through it until we got to the point where everything began to clear up. And to that point right there.
Yeah, no, man, that's special. And I mean, it's crazy that you said that because I remember being out some years and years and years ago with the guys and like had a full blown conversation with another female, and Pint was like literally right there, bro. But I mean, that was the DA days. You know what I'm saying? Like when DA was just woo, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's so crazy because now, like looking back. Like, I can remember her standing there in that conversation. I think she was standing there with, like, one of her cousins or something. And I was having a whole totally, completely different conversation. And she was right there. And so, I mean, you fast forward to now, and, you know, you kind of just.
Can I say this?
I get that to God.
My wife would bust my shit. I wouldn't even try it.
Wouldn't even try what?
Oh, no.
No, I mean, I'm really overdoing that, but it's funny. It's funny to me. But I wouldn't even feel comfortable pulling that.
Pulling what?
I think you misunderstood. Yeah, when he said she was right here, he didn't know.
I didn't know her.
Misunderstood. Completely misunderstood. I'm like, damn.
I just kind of laying into what Smokey was saying. No, hell no.
What make it so funny? When I first was around my wife,
baby, I love you. Don't listen to Courtney.
The first time I was around her, she was pregnant with her first son, Deshaun, which is my son as well. Well, she was pregnant by another guy.
Okay.
I bumped into her in a clothing store in Bolingbrook. I knew one of her best friends that was with her was a guy. I shook his hand. We shook up. I didn't know that was going to be my wife.
Right.
Then, of course, the child's born, and then they used to have Joliet Day in the A. I'm in Atlanta. A guy, we were taking pictures. Me and some of my guys taking the pictures.
Right.
I still have the picture. She's standing to the side behind us.
Knock it off, man.
Holding the baby. I promise.
Knock it off,
BS
man.
you not. Then she would come to the gym with her cousin while they were playing basketball.
Right. Still
never said a word to her. And then lo and behold, my cousin asked for a ride for him and his girlfriend to go to the movies. I said, somebody for me? He said, this is her name. Look her up on MySpace.
Take one for the team. Look her up on MySpace. Shout out to MySpace.
It was MySpace.
It's a romance, baby.
At that point, I knew I couldn't marry nobody else. I told you I fit you in there, baby.
Go ahead. You see, you putting on.
He definitely doing his hardest, man. He doing his best work.
That was just amazing to me, though, for real.
No, man, but that once again, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. And so for me, that's divine intervention. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know that this is gonna happen, and then it happens. Mm-hmm. You know, you can be in the area with somebody so many times. So backtracking a little bit to the earlier conversation, that's why I can't discredit God, because you can't put that off on science. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, happenstance is real. It just has, you know, an English word to go to it, but me personally, I give that to God, because certain things you just can't bypass, period. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When I met Pint, I probably said the lamest thing to a woman that I've ever said in life, bro. But I told her, I asked her to take a picture with me. We just happened to be at a function, same thing kind of with you. And like before the picture was snapped, I told her, I was like, yeah, this is the last picture you're ever going to take with a man outside of me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just been it, bro. Like, we've been, like, to this day. And she asked me for the picture